ladies and gentlemen, my name's Scyushi, and we are back for some more Trove, and you can probably already hear it in my voice. I wanted to have a video talking about where I've been, talk about future plans, and whatever else, because you've probably noticed that the Trove videos have, well, it's been a while. I got sick. I got super duper sick. I don't know how, I don't know why. Basically, I think that I just was underdressed when the wife and I went out for one of our nighttime walks. And for whatever reason, that ended up getting me a fever, and it just got worse and worse and worse. Now, I am well enough right now that I can actually talk, because it was pretty bad over the past couple days where I was barely able to talk. I was sneezing and coughing constantly. And even now, I still got to be very careful, which is why I'm going to probably have a lot of breaks in between this video. And just, you know, this is kind of just an update to let you guys know what's been going on. So one of the main reasons why Trove has slowed down exponentially, which I've talked about before but haven't talked about in a while, is that Trove is one of the only games on the channel that I don't stockpile videos. I personally find it very hard to stockpile videos for this game just because it usually requires a lot of extra thought and effort to come up with ideas and reasons to even make Trove videos. You know, like I need to be like, okay, well, what's something that I haven't done before or haven't done in a while? You know, it all has to fall under these different parameters. And then on top of that, my Trove videos are usually go straight to the point, you know, don't waste any time kind of thing. But that's something that I just can't do when I'm feeling like this, because again, like I was barely able to talk over these past couple days. Today it's okay, but you can probably hear it. I know I hear it. Congestion, tons of congestion. I'm all stuffed up. I am still coughing and sneezing, but it's not nearly as bad as it was the past couple days. Now, as if that wasn't enough with just Trove, Path of Exile is another one of the games that I've kind of expended all of my stocked up content. And with Path of Exile, I've been doing a lot of streams of it. And so now I'm kind of at the point again where I don't really have the ability to stream, because otherwise I would just be coughing constantly, because I stream for like an hour or so. And that's why we haven't seen any more Path of Exile videos for a little while. I did plan on having some more build videos. I wanted to experiment with a couple different ideas with different classes. There's lots of other things that I can cover with Path of Exile, and by no means is the game going away in any way, shape, or form. It's literally all just because I'm sick, and that's it. So I wanted to kind of talk about some real life stuff before I talk about some of the games that we've got coming, just because I thought it would be interesting to clue you guys in. So the wife has had gestational diabetes, which basically is something that's pretty common in women when they get pregnant. Basically, her hormones are going crazy, and she essentially has diabetes because she's creating insulin for two, or she's not creating enough insulin, and then it can be harmful to the baby and all this stuff. So basically, she has had to kind of adopt a diabetic diet, and I've joined her in that crusade just to make it easier for her. None of this is new, but as a little bit of an update, we were having a really hard time getting her numbers to be a bit more stable. And so she actually now has the insulin shot. So she has to be taking that needle every day, which is very annoying for her, quite painful just because it's a needle that she has to stab into herself. But now, so far, her numbers have been a lot more stable. And it's just, I don't know, it's not like that big of a deal or anything. I'm just saying that it's something that has kind of changed up a lot of our lives. And I'm wondering if that might be why my immune system might be a little bit messed up. Probably not. I tend to get sick, like if I end up getting really, really cold, and I don't know, it just happens. So other than that, I had my gym video, which thanks for the positivity and support on that video, by the way. I haven't been able to go to the gym for like a week, and I'm getting antsy. I'm getting very frustrated and just annoyed because I like going to the gym, damn it. And unfortunately, I don't want to push myself. Just yesterday, I went on one of our nightly walks, which I haven't done in a couple days just because I've been sick. And oh boy, was that a mistake. I just felt so terrible for the rest of the night, because it's way too cold here in Canada. And just on top of that, I just really need to not exert myself in any way, shape, or form. So I'm trying to be very cautious of all of that. Oh, and I should say, no, it's not COVID, okay? It's literally just a fever, because if it was COVID, I would have caught it off of someone. And, you know, I got all my booster shots and everything, and I don't go out much, if I'm being perfectly honest. So this is just some fever that I created in myself, which is pretty crazy because usually I end up getting sick from external sources, which I think everyone can agree is fairly common. I know I'm going to get sick a lot when we have a baby and the child is going to school because that's just going to happen. And I'm okay with that. But this was super weird because it was just, oh, I didn't wear a thick enough jacket when I went for a night walk. And now I'm out of commission for a week. Like, oh my God, it's so annoying. And I was even joking with my other friend the other day, and he's like, bro, you can go to the gym and like push your arms to the point where they're broken, and yet, oh, I'm sick. Now I can't do anything. And it's just, I thought that's so funny. It's such a hilarious analogy because it's like, yeah, now I'm just out of commission. I'm a weak little baby. Anyways, let's talk about some of the games that are going to be coming on the channel. So I think I talked about this in my last Luxian video at some point, but I'm planning on bringing Minecraft to the channel. And I kind of implied, oh, I'm bringing Minecraft back in a big way. So I wanted to kind of elaborate on that and just say that my plan was to start covering Minecraft Bedrock, because there's a lot of like the almost paid mods, you know, on the Microsoft store that are usually like these condensed, like singular adventures. And the one thing that I've noticed with myself in Minecraft, I have a very hard time playing that game like for infinite amount of time. Usually I kill the Ender Dragon, and then as far as I'm concerned, I'm done. Maybe I'll push myself to get Elytra, but then I have a very hard time playing beyond that. If you'll notice in any of my Minecraft series, it always ends up ending after we end up beating it. And, you know, that's fun, that's fine, that's great. As far as I'm concerned, beating Minecraft is, you know, a great adventure, but once you're done with it, I can't just keep making storage systems or keep stockpiling like resources and stuff or building bases. It's like, it just gets so boring for me so quickly. So Bedrock has all of these like kind of like paid mods essentially, but they're concise like adventures, and most of them actually do have a beginning and an end. Like I think there's a Mario one where you end up literally fighting Bowser. And so I thought that would be an interesting way that I could end up continually covering Minecraft on the channel by just systematically going through each of those adventures, because then I'll always have a goal and something to do with Minecraft. So I don't know, let me know what you guys think about that. I just thought it would be something interesting to try out, especially because maybe I'm just out of the loop. I haven't seen anybody cover any of the Bedrock content. Like, it's maybe there are content creators that do it, but I sure as heck haven't seen them. Another game that I talked about in my most anticipated games of 2025 video, actually, which links in the description. There'll probably be a card in the top right or something. I'd recommend you guys check that video out, and then my Game of the Year video out, just because I put a lot of work into those, and I don't know, I thought it was interesting and kind of gave you guys an update of like what was planned and what was coming. So long story short, I talked about this game called Eternal Strands, which is oddly enough, like it's kind of an indie game. It's like a new studio's first game, but it's not indie in that it's like a small developer or anything. It's like a Jeff Keighley indie game where it's got like hundreds of people working on it, and it's an independent studio. That's about it. But anyways, I ended up actually getting a key to Eternal Strands like a week or two ago. So I got to play the game early. I've fully recorded the entire playthrough. I still have to record my review of the game once I end up actually getting well enough to do so. And I want to record a couple tutorials just because I can't really talk about it because I'm under an embargo, but I will just say that game is a banger. It really surprised me. It's kind of like Monster Hunter Lite, where you can climb on all of the monsters and stuff, but the combat has like a lot more mobility to it than Monster Hunter, because you actually have the ability of air dashing or, you know, launching yourself vertically straight up and into a monster's face and all this stuff. And again, I can't go into specifics, but I'll just say to watch out for that. If you ever thought that that game looked interesting at all, you can check out my videos on the 21st and the 27th, I think, because the 21st is when the demo is available, and I'm only allowed to cover all the content that was in the demo. And then the 27th is the official game release, which is when I'll be able to post my full playthrough and my review. So main thing that I'll say, if you haven't caught my more recent full playthroughs, is I recorded 13 hours and I cut that down to under 2 hours. So it's the entire game with kind of like all of the highlight points in one singular video. Speaking of Monster Hunter, that is still going to end up being a very big game on the channel. At least I'm hoping you guys will be interested in it. I think we've got a lot of Monster Hunter fans that regular my channel, but I myself have never really gotten into Monster Hunter. That said, I'm excited for Monster Hunter Wilds. You know, we've got that beta coming sometime in February as well as the actual release. And I'm looking forward to going back to the beta, trying it out, you know, and also probably just gonna pick the game up and really force myself to get into it. I will say that it's probably going to be the last game that I'll be able to like fully deep dive into on top of, you know, Trove and Path of Exile and stuff. Because in March, that's when our due date is for the baby. So I'll probably end up getting, you know, super busy being a father, especially to a newborn. And that also kind of like, it kind of sucks that Assassin's Creed Shadows ended up actually getting delayed into March 20th. So our baby should be delivered by then. So unfortunately, or fortunate, it means that I'm going to be playing that game extremely slowly and I'm not going to be able to stream it. So that kind of sucks that I won't be able to enjoy it with you guys. But I think that it's going to end up being a interesting experiment for me, because I've never had anything to kind of keep me from playing games or grinding or whatever, you know, as far as like real life responsibility. This is my job. So this is kind of like, that's my excuse that I can just hop on and do stuff whenever I want. So with Assassin's Creed, I was kind of hoping with its initial February release that I would just be able to completely no life it, and it would be the last game that I get to no life, right? But that's not going to happen as we end up having our baby. So I'm going to end up having that dad schedule, which means that I'm going to play through the game relatively slowly in comparison to other content creators. It does come as a double-edged sword, because as far as YouTube content creation is concerned, one thing that kind of sucks, in my opinion, is the internet is so fast. And so a lot of times I'll usually end up speed running through games almost, because the longer I end up playing a game, it almost seems like the less people are interested in it, just because the way that the algorithm works on YouTube and just people's attention span, like, you know, as far as like a 100-hour game like Assassin's Creed, eventually, like you played the game for 10 hours, you've seen everything the game has to offer as far as a viewer is concerned. And it's very different playing the game. Obviously, you're still just enjoying it and feeling all that huge dopamine from killing guys and stuff. But long story short, I'm just saying that with Shadows, I'm going to really just take my time with it and just allow myself to enjoy it at my own pace and not worry about the whole like YouTube side of things. It's probably going to end up being a series that'll maybe start out popular and then just gonna slowly dwindle and get worse and worse, especially because that type of game isn't really my audience as far as the algorithm's concerned, you know, with Trove and the more colorful games usually being the ones that grab the attention of you guys. But that said, like I said, it's going to be an interesting, it's going to be an interesting experiment. And it also means, you know, talking about the other games that are coming out this year, which I did talk about this, I think in my most anticipated game video. Sorry, I had to take a moment to cough there. With my real life schedule being so busy with a child, it means that I'm going to have to also be a lot more picky with the games that I play. Now, my most anticipated games video, I plan on playing all of those games that I talked about in that video, but let's say Ghost of Yotei, which is Ghost of Tsushima's sequel, Ghost of Tsushima being one of my favorite open world games. Let's say that Ghost of Yotei comes out very close to GTA 6. I'm only gonna have time to cover one of those games. So what I'm gonna do this year is I would prioritize GTA 6, obviously. That doesn't mean that I won't eventually get to Ghost of Yotei. It just means that I'll probably end up playing it like once I'm done with GTA 6. So maybe like weeks, if not months later. And it's going to be an adjustment period for me because I usually kind of pride myself on the idea that I do get through these games so quickly, you know, just because I play games relatively fast, which I find entertaining. And usually I'll end up cutting out a lot of the wasted time in videos and stuff. So it's going to be, suffice to say, it's going to be an adjustment period for myself and my own like mental well-being to slow things down. And I think it's going to be better in the long run. But yeah, suffice to say, I've been rambling about the same thing for like 10 minutes now. And frankly speaking, I got to give my voice a little bit of a break. So we'll call it here. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you guys have any ideas for games that you would think that I would be interested in. But generally speaking, I would recommend my anticipated games video that talks about like all the big AAA games that I plan on playing. The next live stream that you can definitely expect, I think, is on like the 23rd, if I'm not mistaken. There's going to be an Xbox showcase and it's going to show Doom Dark Ages, which obviously I'm really excited for that game. And it's supposed to show some new Xbox game, which we'll see if that's interesting at all. Anyways, have yourselves a wonderful day, everybody. I gotta go and take some cough medicine.